പോവാണ് ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ.
Welcome all of you to our YouTube channel Self Awakening with Shirley and Megha. I am Shirley. I am a radical healer and healing consultant and mentor for past 5 years. Megha?
Hi all, I'm Megha. I'm Dr. Megha and I'm nutrition advisor and I'm following radical healing for the past 5 years. Today we have special guest with us. I would like Shirley ma'am to introduce our guest, Dr. Jiji ma'am and Dr. Monika ma'am, who in spite of their busy schedule, they have agreed to come and join with us today. Shirley ma'am, please.
Hi, Megha. Hello. All are you welcome once more to our channel. We are blessed to have Dr. Monika Singh and Dr. Jiji Vijayan with us today. Dr. Monika Singh has been a practicing obstetrician and sonologist for past 19 years. She is also an intuitive healer and the author of the book Awakening in the Womb. To help spread the awareness how to program and reprogram the subconscious mind for your children and also do the subconscious mind programming and blueprinting of your unborn. Welcome, Monika ma'am. Megha, please introduce Dr. Jiji Vijay.
Thank you, Shirley ma'am. It's a honor and privilege again to introduce our dearest Dr. Jiji ma'am again on this platform today. Dr. Jiji ma'am, as you all know, is a radical facilitator, psychologist, spiritual scientist, and legal management consultant. Apart from that, she's also conducting many workshops for children, and also she's on radical healing through the foundation Lifeline along with Dr. P.P. Vijayan sir. So it's a honor and privilege we have both Dr. Monika Singh and Dr. Jiji ma'am on this show today. So please welcome Dr. Jiji ma'am and Dr. Monika Singh.
Hi, Jiji ma'am.
Hi.
Monika ma'am.
Monika is on mute, I think.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Monika. How are you?
Nice to be here. I'm doing very well. Hope you all are good. Very well.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for being with us here. So Monica ma'am, can we have Dr. Jiji ma'am? Hi, Jiji ma'am. Can we can you say a few words about awakening in the womb?
Okay. So first I'll tell something about Dr. Monika
Yes, ma'am.
because she's so close to my heart. You have introduced her as obstetrician, sonologist, speaker. She's an international published author of book Miracle Mission and Now. Do you remember Dr. Monika?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And above all, she is a wonderful human being and a close friend of mine. And what to say? There's awakening in the womb. Science of Blueprinting the Subconscious Mind of Your Unborn. That's an amazing book. I have a Kindle edition. I have a book format, paper format, and it is so amazing to read that and imbibe all the knowledges. And when I go through her book, the first thing that comes into my mind, and I would like to read one page from that book that is always getting my attention. Shall I read, Monica?
Of course, I would love to hear that.
Okay. So this page is so beautifully set. I don't know how to express it, but I'll just read. It is the mother, a goddess. A woman is just a life form until she becomes a mother. Because when she carries that another soul within her body becomes the temple and she becomes the universal goddess. Yes, a woman has the potential to transform into a goddess by preparing herself to be a mother. The word mother starts with the English alphabet M, meaning mercy for the other, where the other is the soul that she is carrying within. What transforms when she becomes the medium of mercy for others? She forgets the woman that she is, her identity dissolved, which she has adorned until now in her life. All she feels, thinks, nurtures, and cares about at the core is for the other or the divine soul that she carries. Why is it that a mother is a goddess and her body a temple? This question I would ask Dr. Monica after reading little more. And further, Dr. Monica says, man is the creator of God, and the God is the creator of man. God, the universal energy, the highest power, your own higher self, you can name it, whatever you resonate with, exists and permeates through us, all the living and non living forms. The other soul, who is an energy of the universe, the divine. Where else would the energy of God reside but in a temple? And who else will have a body as a temple but as a goddess? This incoming soul helps you to reach out to maximum potential, to the deepest wells of the infinite, to unconditional love, to out of the world care, to caution and protection, to be the goddess that you are. This unborn is a medium for any woman to undergo this highly spiritual, energetic, and cosmic transformation from a woman to mother goddess. This page, it's so close to my heart, and I love reading it day by day, time by time. I think every time I open this book, this is the page I would love to read. So I would like to ask Dr. Monica, when you wrote this book, how did you feel? And what were your feelings and emotions? And and there's a question also, why is it that a mother is a goddess and her body a temple?
Oh. Dr. Jiji, you've picked something which is so close to my heart. And I tell this to all my patients that this is extraordinary that you're carrying this baby inside. It's an extraordinary event in your life. So, okay, I'll start with how I felt writing this book. So, this book was written in 2017. It got launched in February 2018. And when I open the book and I start reading, sometimes I am amazed as to how could I write something like this. And then, with my folded hands and in deep gratitude to my masters, I would say, um, It would be an heightened ego state of me if I say I have written this book. And I would just say that this book has come through me. And it is a blessing that I was chosen to write the book, to write the content for the for it to reach to the people. And I cannot write these words because these are such divine, pure words who could just come from that source itself. So, yes, those were the times when I was deeply connected, deeply inspired, and it just flew, and I just kind of wrote, and now it's in the form of the book. And why do we call Mother the temple? You've answered it partially. I'm going to only completely answer that. See, why do we go to a temple? A temple is a very high energy place. It is a symbol of purity. It could be any religion. When I say temple, a place of worship. And worship for me means when you are completely soaked in that energy, where which is the supreme, which is who is the supreme Lord, and you feel connected to that energy. So when a mother has conceived a child, when a woman gets pregnant and she has conceived a child, her body transforms into temple because now she is carrying the seed of God. Where would you place the God? Where would you place God? Only in the temple, right? We have all the idols placed in a house temple. So we relate temple as home for God. And now this little soul, this little seed who has taken the place, no one in the world can create this, right? It is the master creation of the master himself. So now, because that seed is there, embedded inside, and day by day it is growing, which is not less than a miracle. And where can the seed of God grow? It has to be a temple. And on the continuation of this particular line, I would like to say every pregnant woman who is carrying a baby right now, any woman who's pregnant, consider yourself as a pure, feminine, high energy. You have created something inside you, and now something who is the God seed himself or herself, because every child is an unborn potential. That particular soul has chosen you to grow inside you. You are not less than a temple. We as women, we forget this. We underplay ourselves, and hence this is kind of a reminder for everybody.
True, true. Yes, that was so powerful. So, going further down your book, I see the cosmic conception.
Pardon?
Cosmic conception.
Oh yes. Oh, I love this also.
Yeah. So, everybody thinks that conception starts when the baby is in the womb.
Okay. So I want to tell something and share that the conception would happen at two major levels. One is the energetic spiritual conception, and then only the physical conception. As we say, what you seek is already there, where you wish to go is already there. Similarly, what you want to have is already existing. So if I want to conceive, the conception is already there. The manifestation of this physical conception has already happened at the energy space at least 3 months before the physical conception. So this is the cosmic conception. We say, so mostly people say, oh, when a woman delivers a child, they say, oh, I've become a mother today, or I've become a father today. But actually, the moment they have conceived spiritually, they became a parent that day. Not even the day physical conception happened. So most of us do not know when we have conceived, because the energetic spiritual conception happens 3 months prior to the physical conception. The cosmic conception is all about becoming aware of that cosmic energetic conception and know that I'm going to manifest this soul 3 months down the line in my life. And I'm very happy to say that we have such aware couples who have started working on this. People are manifesting conceptions, they are cosmically conceiving and very in full awareness, they're going for a conscious conception. And then they know that within 3 to 4 months, the physical conception will happen. And this is a reality which is happening now. And it is so powerful because suppose we have to build a building and there is some architectural work. Do you think it's very important to work on the foundation and on the map? So the map we create, the architect we create for that building, and the foundation we put is the basis for that building. Like, of course, we will not see the map in future; it's gone, and we will also never see the foundation. But this is what on which the building has come up. So, foundation is a cosmic conception, which is the energetic conception. The map is imprinting the subconscious mind. So, when we do this with awareness in the 9 months, we know what building is coming up, anyways, because in the energy level, the life has already been laid consciously.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So, you mean to say that parents or to be parents, they have to start working before the actual conception?
100%.
Okay.
See, I've always said this, and I'm going to just going to repeat it today. We will conceive and receive who and that what we are, and we will not exactly conceive and receive what we want. I shall
Yes.
have who I am. I would have so many desires, so I have to become that to fulfill my desire.
Okay. So, like we say in law of attraction, if you ask from that energy of want, that means we don't have.
Yes, yes,
So we need.
yes,
If
and there's the
we
energy
have
of lack.
lack. Yeah. Okay. So is it the reason for the blockages that people have?
Well, I would, I've stopped calling the blockages the blockages, because the blockage somehow, as we understand, has a little negative tonation to it. When I say that these are our milestones, every blockage is a milestone. Oh wow, I've reached this milestone, this particular blockage. It's that hill. Now I have to kind of cross it. So let me see what this hill is all about. What is it? Why is it placed here? What is it teaching me? What is the brilliance, as we say, in this particular hill, that this milestone that I've hit in my life, and all these milestones are here to teach us something.
Hmm.
And infertility is such a big milestone. I tell my patients, especially the patients who have infertility of unknown origin. I'm sure, Gigi, you must have come across people who say, all my reports are good, my blood is good, my hormones are good, my husband's semen is good. I don't know why I'm not pregnant.
Many,
Now,
many.
because, yeah, so because at the energy level, this particular person, this mother, she is convinced to have a particular vibration soul.
Hmm.
Now, this soul will enter into her space when her vibrations go to that point. Now, after incarnation, she forgot this all. She somehow stuck, we get stuck in the daily rut of life. Now, just to remember, I need to be there somewhere where my baby would enter my space. She starts working on herself because she goes to a doctor, it fails, IUI fails, IVF fails, and now everything is fine. What the hell? I'm not conceiving. And then she goes to a spiritual healer, or she goes to an astrologer, whatever. She goes to something which is not medicine. And from here, the doors open and she walks into the world of self search. And then she starts on this journey of self quest: what, where, why. And as she goes on, she finds that, wow, this is something which was my milestone. I missed something here. Let me revisit that point, as so many people do in all the different modalities of healing. And she revisits that particular thing or the incident or the awareness, and she kind of deals, heals, feels, and she says, I can move on. So on this journey, when she arrives at that particular point, say, this baby has to arrive at the frequency of unconditional love. So when she becomes one, she would receive this child who is all about unconditional love.
Yes.
All the high souls, all the high vibrational souls, they will come to moms who are the frequency which they are.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
unless this mother reaches that vibration, how can she attract that child? Because now for her to hold this frequency, she has to be at that frequency. She cannot hold an unconditional love baby at the frequency of fear and judgment. Not
Hmm.
happens. Now, because she's in a contract to hold this child, she has to travel this journey until she arrives at unconditional love. And hence, what better way than to manifest infertility? So here she says, come on, infertility, come to me. Let me reach that point. Ah, I've understood. Now I can relate to this. And then she becomes pregnant.
That was something amazing. Yeah, I think each and everybody has to understand this one because that means a woman or that womb has to gear up for that her deservance
100%. 100%. See,
to.
now we there are people, I don't want to say good, bad, low, high. It's not there. We all have our own journeys. You will see there's a particular strata of people who keep on conceiving. Every year they would have a child because they're vibrating, suppose, at a frequency of lack or self-pity, or they're in the victim consciousness. It's so easy to have these souls all around you. There are so many souls who want to incarnate at victim consciousness and fear and grief and guilt, because now they want to move higher. There's so many people who died at grief. There's so many people, souls, who passed away with guilt and anger in their hearts. For them to transcend this particular frequency, they have to come back at anger. It's so easy to find so many wombs who are angry. So the conceptions, they happen like this. But for an evolved soul to experience light, then the soul has to find a womb with light. And this is why uh, the mom will manifest the milestones and the hurdles and the blockages, so that she can arrive at unconditional love somehow and have this child, because she is at energy level not willing, not ready to have a child lesser than that. So she says, no, I don't want that. Let me have infertility, that's better. Well, this is my viewpoint, and for decades I've stuck to it, and it's shown beautiful results. It
No,
works.
I think that is beautiful because I remember my experience because I had a child after 5 years of marriage, and I was also in the same thing. Why it's not happening? All that emotional turbulence, all that fibroids and PCOD and everything, what we say, all that negatives had been there in me. Then after a space came where I accepted everything and just be. Okay. So at that time, my doctor also told something miracle should happen, otherwise it won't happen.
Oh my
We
god.
were
Yeah.
also just okay, let the miracle happen.
Yeah.
But the next month, I conceived. So I
And
can
then there
resist.
is no miracle, right? This is pure science.
Yes,
Frequency, man. The moment you accepted yourself with unconditional love, it happened.
that's true. True. Very correct. I think all the women should understand. And another question, is it only for the mothers or is it applicable
No,
for fathers
it is for the couple.
together? Hmm.
But somehow I feel the mom has a major role to play. So if mom has come somehow managed her part, and the father is still not on that vibration, conception can still happen, because the mother is predominantly inside the mother, and mother can control and work with her frequencies, because father and different family members are still external people for her. So I don't want to sound very feminist here, but I think this is nature, because women have that immense, what do you say, I want to use a very neutral word. The women, they have that immense patience and endurance, and that satisfaction of who they are. They can really be settled. So probably this is why it is the women who conceive. They are like, they are, it's a nature of a woman, of a feminist, of a female energy to attract, while masculine energy is all about go getting. So here,
Power.
because it's all about power, so because this is all about uh, I am manifesting and attracting and nurturing, so probably here the mother has a major role to play.
Yeah. I have heard people saying it is not my obligation, it is not me who has to manifest. You are also equally responsible in that. Now, I think it would be clear for women to understand that that statement is not good for them.
Exactly, because somehow we are, uh, when we say that I want to empower myself, rather than working on our own enhanced feminine um, energy, to empowering with respect to the feminine energy, somehow we want to slip into the role of a man and challenge the man and try to walk the path a man does. And what happens is we are losing our foot,
Hmm.
right? Because the Shiva is complemented by Shakti, is complemented by Shiva, and we have to stay in the role play that we have chosen. It's a woman's role play, so we have to know what are our strengths, and we have to stay in that role play, because a masculine boundary is different. There has to be, I would also have a masculine energy, everyone has, but because I'm a female, the feminine energy is dominant in me. Let it be dominant, because this is the way I have accepted to play this role in my life. This is what I feel.
Yeah. So the role play, which
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah. Role
we
play.
are here with,
Very
accept that.
important.
Very
Accept,
important. We need to
not to
accept.
become who you, yes, not to become who you are not.
Yeah. Because many
Yes.
people ask me why I am getting this problem, ovary problems, why I am getting this uterus problem. Now I understand, because somewhere they are rejecting their femininity.
And PCOD.
And PCOD. I have also at that one time I had rejected. Why did I become this female? Because
Yeah.
we are having all that beautiful things, and only we are suffering. That type of. But now I understand. No, femininity is so beautiful. When we accept it, it is so powerful. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I think that would be very informative for many couples and many women.
I wish so.
Yeah. Okay. So in this book, I think we have to allow them to read the book, right?
Oh,
Not to
yes.
discuss everything.
Yeah, this is the book here. It's in English here. This is the book.
That is a beautiful book, and it is also coming out in Malayalam. The
Oh, yes.
translation over.
Thank
Yeah,
you
the
so much.
translation.
Thank you for all your support. Without your support, this would not have happened. Thank you for
Because
taking all the things.
because
Yeah.
I want this book to come. It has to reach. It has to spread throughout the world. I say it should come in every language because it's so wonderful. Each and every word of that book, it resonates with us, our energy. So
Oh,
let
yes.
us spread. So I think within 1 month, the book will be ready. Book
Wow,
is ready.
question. Book
Only
is
some
ready
technical
actually.
things are there. So let it happen. Let
Yes.
that also happen.
Yeah.
Okay. I think many people had asked me that they wanted to ask doubts to you, but I don't see anybody here. Is there anybody?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dr. Megha, are you here? Conscious birthing, conscious parenting, and all those things are being described in the book very beautifully. And Dr. Monica is also, I think you are taking conscious parenting. And
Yes.
I always introduce Dr. Monika Singh as Spiritual Birthing Center.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, yes, Dr. Megha, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, even I have a lot of friends like they have this issue. Like just now, you said like PCOD, infertility issues. So when you said like because like many people have this issue because they reject their femininity. So I can really relate. Today also morning I was talking something like that. Why did I become a female? So maybe when you said I realized what I was doing. It's really like it's such a wrong uh, thinking what I have also.
Yes. Because you've chosen to be a female. This is the
Yeah.
brilliance of your life. So allow this the female in you to nurture. You are a beautiful woman. So allow this flower, this little bird to just uh, spread and just be fragrant.
Yes, ma'am.
Just nurture yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for
Yeah, I know
And
this really hit hard. She's
and
like,
out,
should I
out
assimilate or should I continue with the interview now?
that. Yes.
what should we do, Dr. Megha? I have one
Uh,
question, which
yeah.
I'm always getting in my workshops.
Okay.
Like in the world out there, many healing practices are there. Many healing practices are there, and people go because of their frustration, because of the society wanting, because of the in-laws wanting. Why you are not a mother till now? What is there? My son will get another woman, and such things. Then somewhere I heard there's a womb clearance. And somebody asked me also, is there something like womb clearance? So I have been reading about womb clearance here and there, but I don't know whether it is really there. I think Dr. Monica, you would be able to answer.
Okay. So, how womb clearance is taken is there are two, three aspects to it. Number one, suppose there's a history of miscarriages, spontaneous abortions, any IUDs, and this I'm talking when there is a soul who's insecure who wants to come to this world, and that person is not finding a mother. Then they kind of they cling to you because they don't want to let loose of you. So in such cases, there are people who do womb clearing. They kind of empty the space energetically for another soul to arrive. But uh, if you're talking with context to a very high vibrational conception, then I feel you just have to work with your vibration. You do not one doesn't have to go for a specific womb clearing or something like this. you know Everything works with awareness. So once you're aware of what is happening, why it is happening, there's something which has just moved out of your space. And when something moves out of your space, this is what we got clearing.
Hmm.
So when a woman becomes aware of, first of all, what is there, what she calls a block, when then she becomes aware of why this block, I think this itself is enough. The space is cleared. We are in these time zones where you don't have to sit and do clearance for 2 hours, 3 hours. No, it's just awareness, why, and it's cleared. Of course, if I go back to the same frequency, I'll bring the issue back again in my life. But once I know the perspective, I can really work with the clearance part. Second thing is, when I talk about, when people talk about, I really don't, uh, why do we need to just clear the womb? Why would anyone want to clear only that garbh wala part of a temple? If I have to clear the temple, I have to clear it completely, na?
Yeah.
I can't
Agree.
keep the entire temple dirty and just clear one spot where the idol is kept. So to me, actually, uh, I'm sorry to say, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Then when we have to clear the tubes, because the sperms is traveling through the tube, then we have to clear the ovary, because the ovary is where the egg is produced, the ovulation happens. Why leave that? Then we have to clear the vagina. It is also a very important part for the conception. It's very sacred organ. Without it, the conception so why just womb, if they are talking about one organ only? But I presume, when people say womb clearing, they would also mean the ancestral blockages in conception, like what their mothers carried and the grandmothers carried, and the ancestral blocks of infertility. Probably they're also talking about this, and all the traumas and frictions that the mother underwent during the pregnancy, perhaps they would call it a womb clearing. So this could have a very wide implication. But what I tell people is, if you really want to go for a very high frequency conception, you forget about one particular organ. You just work on yourself, you just connect with your true nature. Once you do that, you come in awareness, everything goes. Whether it is ancestral, whether it is present, whether it is future or your past, it will just go with awareness.
That's
So
so beautiful.
this is my take on it.
That's so beautiful because that example, that example itself tells us how we should be aware. Like a temple, yeah, you told only the shrine and the surrounding things, if we clear, no, it is of no use.
Yeah. And anyways, the seat where the god is, you don't have to, who are you to clear that? If the manifestations happen, who are we to cleanse, clear anything? We can only maintain our body. Eating good is womb clearance. Good
Mm,
thoughts is womb clearance.
mm.
Good words is womb clearance. Being in sync is womb clearance. No negative thoughts is womb. So if I just womb clear, I have to clear my tongue also, my mind, everything.
That is true. That is true. Like in Diwali and Ganesh Chaturthi, we clean our whole house. Yeah, each and every nook and corner. So in the same way, we can clear our whole body and the
Yeah.
energy and the emotions
Yes.
and everything.
We are emanating this energy as a whole. I'm not emanating some other energy from my womb and some other energy from my eyes. It's a holistic emission of energy. So probably, I feel when they say about womb clearance, it would have some implication from the ancestral energies also. But uh, I request all my dear listeners here not to get too much entangled, not to get too much into past and past lives and ancestors, because everything has happened. It is only a context, it's just history. This is your present, take that only as a context. In this particular moment, if you decide to be this frequency, nothing else matters.
Yes, be in the present. I
Yeah.
think we have some questions in the comment section.
Yeah, let's do that.
Can you see that?
No, I cannot wait. If you could just read out to me, probably it would be good.
There's a question from Geetu Pilla. Hi, ma'am. Are fibroids also due to rejecting femininity? What is the reason for miscarriage?
So fibroids, I feel, see, fibroid is a protrusion which is occupying your endometrial cavity, or it is in the uterus somewhere in the myometrium, in the musculature of the wall of uterus. So this, for the uterus, when the conception is not happening, or there are so many abortions, or there is a case of infertility, or there is loss of pregnancy which the mother wanted. So basically, when a woman wants to create, is not able to create, the intense desire to create or to sustain a child can create a pseudo childlike structure, which is a fibroid.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm.
This is the intense desire of the uterus to create something, not just to create but to sustain something. So when the fertility is not happening, or there are several mtps, suppose someone keeps on conceiving year after year, and the husband says, look, I'm not in the financial condition to sustain a child, and then she's under the pressure to abort a child, because I get these patients a lot, and one after another she's gone for 3 4 5 or 2 3 4 mtps, a medical termination of pregnancy. Then, because this, the intense desire to create and to sustain a child is there, but the uterus is not able to do that. Every time she gets pregnant, it goes away, or there is infertility, one reason or the other, she's not getting pregnant. So then these pseudo structures of myometrium, of the musculature of the the uterus, the uterine wall, the protrusions of 2 centimeters, 3 4 5 centimeters, they come. Sometimes they penetrate the endometrial cavity, sometimes they're outward. But um, I really feel this is something which says no. The uterus has rejected its right to create and sustain, is when probably someone would manifest a fibroid. It's an indication that there's a desire to have a child. There's a buried desire to have a child, in simple words.
So in that situation, the only thing is that lady or woman has to increase their disturbance.
Yes. But you should have asked me one more question, Gigi. Then why do unmarried women they get fibroids?
Right. Oh wow. Yeah. Fine.
Because if you would be answering this question, I would be like, then why a 14-year-old would have a fibroid issue?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's an important question also because parents
Yeah.
need to know.
Parents need to know. We have not 14, it's a little early age, but we have women at around 20, 22, 23. They can come with little fibroids. There is, I've not seen patients of congenital fibroids, babies born with fibroids. I've not seen them yet, but early instance of fibroid, a teenage fibroid and an early womanhood fibroid is also there.
I've come across teenage fibroids. Yes.
Yes, teenage fibroids are there. This is the mother's desire to suppressed desire of the mother to create, is sometimes passed on to the female child.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whenever you have a girl who's 16 has a fibroid, rather than directly working with the girl, catch hold of the mother and see how many abortions, how many terminations. So what was that pregnancy that you wanted to have which was snatched away, because the woman feel it was snatched away from me,
Hmm.
or because of some circumstances I had to abort, or the baby just went. So then if you work with the mother, somehow it will help with fibroid of the daughter.
Hmm. That's a little bit complicated thing, no? Instead of mother getting the fibroid, why this child got the fibroid?
Exactly. This this happens. Now here is the role of that ancestral thing that we say.
Hmm.
See, everything comes with awareness, because suppose now there is a child who is spiritually awakened, or a child on an enhanced path, she would not allow this energy to be passed on to her. But for a child who is vulnerable, who is still at that frequency, who is still not on the path of that awareness, for her to imbibe this energy is very easy from the mom. It could be mom or a mother like figure.
Hmm. Okay, that's
Mother
actually.
can have, and then you will see mother would have some menstrual issues, she would have some she may have some cyst issues, it would show in her biology also.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
It's something like I got a viral, it's such a high potential viral, the virulence is so high, I can easily give it to the person with a compromised immunity. So now, because this child is living with me and she's a 17-year-old child, she's seen how the mother has suffered. Suppose there's a suffering, and the mother is daily talking to the child, look how I was this, and she's in self-pity. My in-laws were like this, your dad, my finances, and I had to go this. Then the child is already in that vibration, right?
Hmm.
And immunity for this is very low. She just attracts the same thing, same pattern.
Hmm.
I've seen and I've really observed that this is quite frequently seen.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a very good thing because I have heard teenage fibroids, and I was also wondering why these little girls they get these fibroids
So I
nowadays.
think you can do a research on it. So far, I have found it to be correct. But if you have these teenage fibroids and you can talk to the mothers, they would have some history of abortions or a child that they wanted who they did not get.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And if work on this, it's going to help the baby. I know this is complicated, but
Yeah, it's complicated, but at least we have an awareness. So this is
we have
happening.
some clue. Like someone
Yeah.
has got COVID, all the people go for a COVID test at home, no?
Yeah. Okay.
So someone has got a fibroid, and at least one child has shown a fibroid, and we have to go for the history. Let's start with the maternal history. This works.
Yeah. Okay. Further, one more question Geetu had asked is what is the reason for miscarriage?
Wow. I always hope someone asks this question. So we have two things in the first trimester. First trimester is first, second, third month. We have a situation called a threatened abortion, where you would see a woman comes to you with bleeding issues, right? So and then you have to treat them, give some medication or do something, and then this it sees and the pregnancy can go on. So this pregnancy is a high risk pregnancy, or with a bad obstetric history, which you call a BOH, or a threatened abortion, but yet not an abortion, the child can be born. There is another term which is called a spontaneous abortion, where no bleeding happened, nothing, but they went for a scan, the baby's heartbeat is not there, and now they had to go for a DNC, dilatation and a curettage process. So why do miscarriages, why do spontaneous and threatened abortions happen? I and i have got an undoubted um amazing answer to this, which has always stood the test of time in 20 years of my 2 decades of my practice. Number one, if a woman is coming with a bleeding issue, which is a threatened abortion, you have to work with her anger issues.
Hmm. Okay.
Always. It could be suppressed anger, it could be drinking of the anger, not expressing,
Hmm.
or it could be
Hmm.
that she is just an angry person.
Hmm. Hmm.
But a miscarriage would happen, a
Hmm.
spontaneous abortion would happen if this woman is living under fear.
Okay. Spontaneous miscarriage.
Yes. So when the heartbeat is there, baby is gone. 99.99% chances, not just early 3 months, even at 6, 7, 8, 9 months when we have a stillbirth, or better than that, if we have an IUD intrauterine tract at 36, 34 weeks or 32 weeks, we see the underlying cause is fear, resulting into insecurity. And this fear could be past, this fear could be any part of her life, something that she's very fearful of. This will show as an IUD. Anger issues, generally the baby will not die, but there would be bleeding issues. It will be a red flag. It would always come as a very alert pregnancy. So these are two direct signs that you don't have to go left, right. Work if it's in a death, work on the fear, and if it's bleeding, work on the anger. That's it. It
And
will,
bleeding will
it
finally
helps.
lead to miscarriage, no?
Huh? Pardon?
Bleeding will finally lead to miscarriage also.
It can. So there's a very, if you go to the books, there is a story of Shahana.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I've written a chapter. And I've given some real examples. So there's a story of Shahana. So let me tell about this woman, and it will throw some light. So this woman, she comes to my chamber,
Hmm.
And she is around 2 months pregnant. She was 2 months pregnant that time, and she was weeping, and she said, "I want to go for an abortion." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I am 2 months pregnant, I've started bleeding, and I know this child will also not survive. This baby is going, and do a DNC only." Then I took the history. There were 7 miscarriages. She's been married for around 4 years, 5 years, something. There was no problem in conception, but there was problem in sustaining the pregnancy. And all 7 abortions were spontaneous abortions, where she would bleed, 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 and the child would go.
Hmm.
And this was her eighth pregnancy, and she was hopeless. So she had come for an abortion only. She had pre-decided that this is also going to happen the eighth time. So I sensed there's something different. I said, "Okay, you are bleeding very heavily. Let me do a scan." So she was like, "I'm in pool of blood. What scan you want to do?" So I had to do a counseling or something. I took her to the machine. I did the scan, and to her surprise, the baby's heartbeat was there in the pool of blood and everything. The cardiac activity was there. I told her that we can work on her. She said, "No, it will go." She was so convinced that this will go. I immediately took her for a session. There was not even a consent, and she did not know what session was. And I straight away went and I said, "Tell me who you are at angry. What are your anger issues, and what's happening in your life?" So she told me everything. Let's not go into that story, but she said why she was angry, and there was things. Then I was sitting with the husband and the mother-in-law. I said, "Do you know? आपको मालूम है इसके अंदर कितना गुस्सा है? Do you know why she has so much of anger?" You know what they said? "No, she's the most smiling person. She is a person who's always smiling. She never even replies back. She is so docile. You just say anything, she never. I mean, how can she be angry? She's like a cow, like a guy." I said, "This is the issue. She's been drinking her anger for all these years." Then okay, we did a session and all those things. And I did a good counseling of, with husband and the mother-in-law. I gave a few affirmation. It was way back 4 5 years, I think 4 years back. Gave her those affirmations. And I told her that all this is happening because of your anger issues. Give yourself a chance. She worked on it. Bleeding stopped, and by God's grace, she delivered a very healthy male baby after 9 months of her pregnancy. It was a normal delivery.
Wow.
So this eighth child came because she worked on herself. So I've written this
Hmm.
story here.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. Okay, so it is anger issue and the fear issue. Oh, okay. This fear issue, that's why abortion happens or at 8 month, 7 months, 6 months and all.
yeah, yeah. We have IODs at 26 weeks, 28 weeks, 30, 32 term. We have children going at term. We have children going in the eighth month also. So
Mhm.
predominant is fear.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think the listeners, they understand how they have to work, on what they have to work
They
first.
have some clues to. They have some path to walk on.
Perfect. I think that two questions were very, very, it had hit. That was your major questions, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think. Okay, Dr. Megha, it was a beautiful session, Dr. Monica.
Oh, thank you so much. It's absolute pleasure. It's absolute. It's an honor to be here. And talking to you is like, wow, I cannot miss this opportunity to be interacting with someone like Jiji and Shirley and Meg, of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Jyotika. Thank you, Monika.
Thank you so much.
And Dr. Monica, I would like to ask one more question. Like, it's nothing related to anything, book or anything. If somebody asks me how to contact you and whether you will be available for sessions or for their, it's,
Okay, so I can share my office number if they want,
yeah, yeah,
or my email
definitely.
address.
Office number
Okay,
and
it's
email,
eight
yeah,
double zero. It's 800
800
615
615
664.
664. Right? 800 615
Triple
triple
six
four.
four.
Yes,
So
okay.
they can drop a message on WhatsApp. As we
Ah,
generally interact on WhatsApp,
ah,
and however we can help and support them, we try our best to do that.
yeah, okay. That would be a great help for people. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
Thank
I
you.
absolutely had fun. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it was great. I think we many people I would have I think it would have benefited today, whatever you have said today. It not only for them, I think for me also it's a new information, many things. I listened from you about abortion and everything.
So
Okay.
the idea is, intention is for this information to reach out to many, so that people can help themselves.
yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, I think
Thank
we have not got any more questions. Only
Yeah, I think no more questions.
yeah. Okay. Can we share the ma'am the number in the comments?
Yes, why not? Yeah, yeah, you can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Then I.
Me too. Me too. We are already booked for the Malayalam look.
I think we have to now rush it.
I think we have to rush. Yes, the final.
Yeah, yeah. Just little final things are left. Everything is ready.
It will come out.
Yeah.
So I,
And thank you,
ma'am, when
Dr. Monika and Shirley, for inviting, because somehow this Malayalam version was waiting, and I and Gigi thought that this is a knock knock for us to uh, kind of pace up the things.
Yes. And it was ready for a long time, you know. That book
Oh,
was
yeah.
ready. Somehow it is not coming out. Dr. Meka, I think the number is it's 5666, I think.
okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
800 615 6664.
And that was an amazing session with you. Not a session, it was a
Yeah.
chit chat or an interaction, how we generally talk, but a little bit of gyan also.
Oh, it was just like heart to heart talk that we always do.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So, thank you so much for
Thank,
thank
inviting.
thank
It
Thank
was a
you,
you.
thank,
lovely thing. Yeah,
Dr.
thank you so much.
thank you,
Bye
Monica
bye.
ma'am and Dr. Gigi ma'am today for coming to our show today, and I think it's a very honor and for us also. Like now, your awakening in the womb is coming, and I think I'm also waiting to see read the Malayalam version also.
Perfect.
Perfect timing. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
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 Thank you.